You're watching Brazos Valley This Morning on KBTX News 3.
87th Texas Legislature dropped the opening gavel today with problems both new and old facing lawmakers ahead of their latest session. News 3's Andy Krause spent the day in Austin covering today's events and asking lawmakers what they hope to accomplish.
While many lawmakers acknowledge COVID and pandemic response will hold the legislature's focus for much of the foreseeable future, they're still setting goals after today's opening gavel. The 87th Texas Legislature starts where the 86th ended, in the midst of a pandemic that continues to take American lives at a breathtaking pace. That's why Senator Lois Kolkhorst says her primary efforts are geared toward knocking out COVID-19 for good.
I think number one is getting past COVID. 7 of the 10 deaths from COVID are of people 65 and older. So that's why I fought so hard for 1B.
The legislature elected a new speaker Tuesday and learned their budget wasn't in as bad a shape as they'd feared.
Initially, the budgetary deficit, squaring up the budget, was projected to be $4.5 billion, and it's actually now less than $1 billion. So sales tax has been coming back this year compared to the steep cliff that we saw in March and April and May.
It makes other lawmakers optimistic they can focus on other issues while executing a COVID recovery plan.
To continue to fund public education. Obviously, I know that we have priorities with making sure the budget is balanced, and let's make Texas not only a great economic engine, but let's make it the safest place to live. I mean, it is the greatest place to live in the country, but let's make it the safest, the healthiest, and make sure we educate these kids.
The legislature understands that there will be challenges with this session's budget, considering large parts of it must be dedicated to COVID response, but lawmakers are still confident they can improve on issues in Texas, even while the pandemic rages on. In Austin, Andy Krause, News 3.